So what's up, guys? Hopefully you're all doing well. So this is an important video this evening. Wanted to talk about the Inghams and why I do what I do. So I'm fed up with them endangering their kids on a regular basis. And them not facing repercussions for that, them not getting into trouble for that. But this is just what the real issue is here. This is what my real issue is here. Obviously, I've spoken about about how I don't agree with what Chris did. The fact that he did what he did, and Chris has, obviously Sarah stood by him. But it's more to do with the fact that constantly putting his safety at risk. Like, they're constantly gambling. It feels like they're gambling with their kids' lives and constantly gambling with with their kids' safety. They take too many risks that any normal parent wouldn't be willing to take. And, I'm just sick of them them constantly getting away with putting their kids in danger. Like, how much longer are they going to keep getting away with that? This is the problem. They shouldn't keep getting away with putting their kids in danger. And this is what my real issue is here. This is what triggers me the most. It's the fact that they're getting away with this time and time again. I'm not, I just don't know how to, what to say. I don't know what else I'm actually supposed to say about this. It makes you laugh, the fact that the IFAM constantly defend them when they're quite clearly putting their kids in danger. But the IFAM can't see that. The IFAM can't see that they're doing anything wrong. The IFAM can't see that they're potentially putting their kids in a dangerous situation, which is what they've done many times. There's so much proof on their channel of blatant child endangerment. It's actually, they can't even deny that anymore, because the proof is all over their channel. There's so many videos online, or so many vlogs on their channel, that show them endangering their kids and putting their kids in a dangerous situation. And they can't keep putting their kids in dangerous situations and getting away with it. Obviously, as I said in my earlier video, I know it's genuinely only a matter of time before something bad does happen. I know that their luck is going to run out at some point. I know that something is going to go horribly wrong. And in a way, I kind of wished that something did go wrong. But then they might actually learn a valuable lesson on the importance of child safety. It's about time they were actually taught a valuable lesson on the importance of child safety. It's about time they started taking the safety of their kids a lot more seriously. But this is the problem here. They're not taking the safety of their kids seriously enough. They don't care. And this is the problem. They don't fucking care at all. I've seen people who care about child safety way more than what they do. Way more than they clearly do. It's so blatantly obvious to see they don't care about child safety. That much is so damn clear. If they cared about child safety, they wouldn't be letting a 5-year-old help to start a fight. Or help to start a campfire. If they were, if they cared about child safety, they wouldn't be letting their kids play on, they wouldn't let their two young kids, a 5-year-old and a 3-year-old, play on slippery rocks next to a deep lake. They wouldn't let them actually have their kids on a 5-year-old and a 3-year-old on a paddleboard on a deep lake with no bloody life jackets on, which they did in the vlog the other night. They had Mila and Jace on a paddleboard in a deep lake, in a really deep lake with no life jackets on. And that with things like that, they're practically asking for something to go wrong. They're asking for something bad to happen. And this is what it feels like at this point. It feels like they are literally begging on their hands and knees, begging for something to go wrong. It's like they're begging for something bad to happen. And they don't know what else to say. Like, this is the only thing I can say about it, is that they are literally practically begging for something bad to happen, and, I really genuinely do fear it's only a matter of time before it does. I don't know what else I'm supposed to say, you know. At the end of the day, I'm not gonna apologise. I'm not gonna apologise for calling them out for endangering their kids. I'm not prepared to do that. I'm not prepared to apologise for calling them out because they're constantly endangering their kids. Because that's exactly what they are doing, time and time and time and time again. Is they're constantly putting their kids in situations where they could get seriously hurt. And I think anybody with an ounce of common sense knows that it's only a pure miracle at this point that nothing bad hasn't already happened to those kids. It's a pure miracle at this point that those kids haven't ended up seriously injured or worse. And we all know that if something bad does happen, which it inevitably will, Chris and Sarah will be to blame. Because they are reckless, irresponsible, careless, stupid, naive. They have this attitude of nothing will ever go wrong. But they shouldn't be thinking that. They can't be thinking that nothing is ever gonna go wrong. Because one day something might go wrong. One day their luck will run out and something will go very badly wrong. And they're asking for that to happen. They're asking for something bad to go badly wrong. And you see that from a mile off. Anybody with an ounce of common sense can see that. That just has to be said. There are certain things that have to be said, and this is one of them. I'm not going to ignore blatant child endangerment. I'm not going to turn a blind eye to that. I'm not going to turn a blind eye to the fact that, obviously, to the fact that, they're putting kids in danger on an almost regular basis. I can't lie. And it comes down to the fact that they're so desperate for views. That's what the issue is here. They are so desperate for views, and they are doing anything they can to try and get their views up. And if that means endangering their kids, then so be. If them endangering their kids lets their views up, then that's what they'll do. I can't believe that something bad hasn't already happened. But I know I'm not as I said in my earlier video, and I've said this before as well, I know I'm not the only one who right now is very scared and is very concerned that something is going to go wrong or that something bad is going to happen because they keep putting it in dangerous situations. Chris and Sarah Ingham are the sort of people who, if they were told not to do something for safety reasons, if someone told them not to do something for safety reasons, they would go ahead and do it anyway because they think they know best. And this is the problem with Chris and Sarah Ingham, is they always think they know best. If they think that rules don't apply to them. If somebody was to say to them, you shouldn't do this for, safety reasons, they'd still go ahead and do it, regardless of how safe it actually is. They'll still go ahead and do something, regardless of how safe that thing actually is. They don't care about the risks involved with certain things. They don't care about the fact that they're putting their kids in dangerous situations. They absolutely love doing that. They love putting their kids in danger, and it's wrong. It is so wrong. You know, I aren't like. You know, I think, you know, it does make me sick that they are constantly getting away with putting their kids in dangerous situations. Why? This is my question here, is why do they keep getting away with it? The reason that they keep getting away with it is because not enough people are actually reporting them for this. If more people were actually reporting them for endangering their kids, maybe the people that should be sitting up and taking notice would be more likely to sit up and take notice. You know, but it's not good just one person reporting them for doing that. More people have to report them for for the way they're endangering their kids. Someone has to put a stop to this. You know, someone has to step in and talk some bloody sense into them. You know, before something bad does happen. Because as I said, mark my words, it is only a matter of time before something does go wrong. And they're asking for that at the moment. They're asking, they're practically, the way I see it at the moment, they're really, really pushing their luck. And they ain't gonna keep getting lucky every single time. You know, I don't know how long it's gonna be before something bad happens, but it's certainly not gonna be long. You know, I fear, and as I've said before, I feared that for a very long time. I've been very fearful for a while that their luck is gonna run out, and that something is gonna go wrong, something is gonna happen. You know, because they're getting more and more stupid and reckless as time goes on. They're getting more and more, it feels like they're getting more and more irresponsible as time goes on. You know, it feels like a lot of the time they let the kids do things that they shouldn't really be letting them do, purely for safety reasons. You know, as I've said in previous videos, there's been so many, we've seen it in so many vlogs. We've seen things where, the under two should be being supervised by an adult, and they weren't being supervised by an adult. And I know a lot of people say, oh, well, Isabel had supervised them, yada, yada, yada. But Isabel's not their parent. Not obviously the parent. It's not really her job to be supervising Jason Miller. That's Sarah and Chris's job. But half the time, or most of the time, they're not actually supervising Jason Miller when they should actually be supervising them. Because again, they do not care. And they are really, really showing that in their vlogs these days. All they're really showing is just how poor their attitudes to not just water safety, but their attitudes to child safety really are. Because this is the thing. They have a very, very appalling attitude towards child safety. And I'm not gonna apologise for saying that. Someone had to say it. Their attitudes towards child safety are absolutely appalling. There's not good to say about that. There's not good to say about the fact, I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, well, they actually have a very positive attitude towards child safety, because they clearly fucking don't. They clearly don't fucking care. They clearly, their attitudes to child safety are horrendous. It's like, it's like they don't stop to think about the fact that, something could go wrong. And sometimes they need to stop and think about that. They need to stop and think about, well, maybe it might not be safe to do this, or maybe it might not be safe to do that. But as I said, they will go ahead and do something, regardless of how safe it is. I even think that if a professional, or somebody within a position of authority, was to tell them that it's not safe for them to do something, they would go ahead and do it anyway, regardless of how safe it actually is. No, they wouldn't even listen to a professional, because they've shown many times they think they know, but they even think they know better than most professionals out there, you know. And as I've said before, they might think they know better than most than most people, including professionals, but they don't, you know. And it's like they need to start following rules. Because again, it pisses me off how basic rules that apply to people like us don't ever seem to apply to people like them. That's what it always feels like. It always feels like rules don't apply to them. You know, and it never feels like that. It doesn't ever feel like rules apply to them. It feels like, you know, yeah, it feels like rules apply to us, but rules don't apply, basic rules that apply to us don't apply to them. They can do whatever the fuck they want and get away with it. Every single time. And that includes endangering their kids on a regular basis. Because that's what they're doing. You know, they're putting their kids' safety at risk. Time and time again, they're putting their kids' lives in danger on a regular basis. And they're showing that in their vlogs for the whole world to see. All people need to do to see the proof of how many times they've actually endangered their kids, all they need to go and do is look at the channel. You know, it really does trigger me when I think about the amount of times they put their kids, you know, they've endangered their kids, put their kids' lives in danger, put their kids' safety at risk, and the amount of times they've gotten away with that. You know, it really infuriates me to think that they've gotten away with that so many times. That's not something they should be getting away with, pure and simple. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this little short video. I'll see you with another one very soon. Bye bye.